Welcome everybody to Quality Sewing and Vacuums Virtual Sew Fun today. We have Anne and Gail, and they have been working hard this whole month long of October throughout our 10 stores. 11 will be tomorrow in Pasco. Hello, right. Pasco! They've been out doing live shows all month long, and today is our virtual. And if you would like to join one of our in-person virtual or in-person classes, hop onto QualitySewing.com and you go into Sew Fun, and you'll find all of the live stores and the times that you can come and join us. But we're glad that you're here with us today. We want you to go online and underneath here, comment, tell us where you're at. If you have any questions, put that on there and we will answer them for you. We also wanted to let you know that all the things that Anne and Gail are going to be talking about are 20% off. And if you go and put in the code SF treat, as in trick or treat, you'll get your 20% off for all the notions that they're going to be talking about today. With that, I'm going to turn, those products are up on the website until November 11th. So hurry up and get your products before they are gone.
Absolutely. Yep.
Halfway through the show, we are going to be giving out a prize. So do make sure that you make a little comment down below, because that's how we know that you're on and we can give you your prizes. So, good morning. I don't know.
Arizona.
From Arizona.
Yeah,
we're glad that you are tuned in with us today. So if you are a prize winner today, please email me at Andrea at QualitySewing.com, and I will, if you're from Arizona, we'll mail it out to you. But if you're in one of our local store areas, we will send it out to your local store. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to our beautiful Anne and Gail, and have a good time, guys.
Thank you.
See you halfway through.
Thank you, Andrea. All right. I don't know about you, but I had fun getting ready for this month.
I had a lot of fun, and we're going to share with you ideas for the holidays. So you have lots of ideas here that you can make for your friends and family or yourself.
That's right. Decorations or gifts, whatever you like. So a little bit of a Christmas theme, but we've got other stuff too. So
we do.
All right. We're going to start out with our placemats, and our here's one of them that we have. This is going to be an embroidery design collection, and it has applique. So you're going to put your fabrics down and sew around them, but it's multi-format, so it fits any machine. And this is Valentine's Day, as you can see, and our collection does cover a lot of different holidays and events. But what I wanted to point out about this specific one is I've used a tea towel to make the placemat, and there's actually room for two on a tea towel. Now let's see what you get. So in the package you get the CD, and the designs are going to be the 4th of July, the Christmas ornaments, the balloons. It says celebrate. We've got some fall leaves, we've got the Valentines, and then we've got some fun flowers. So we have a few more of them featured over here on our little wall. And there's the ornaments, the flowers, the balloons, and the 4th of July. Now, inside, once you create that embroidery design, and you're going to do that on your front fabric, right? I had my pink tea towel hooped up, stitched out the design, removed the stabilizer, and then I'm going to iron that to the base. And this is also comes in the package. And there are 4 in the original package, and they're fusible on both sides. That means I can fuse that fabric on the front, I can take another fabric and fuse it on the back, and then I can trim it out and put some binding on it. So, Anne, I know that you had made some of these, and you had some information on these.
Well, one of the things that I thought was great about it is that you can put these designs on t-shirts, on bags, so they're just not limited to the placemat. So you can use them in a wide variety of ways. And I know that we've used the metallic thread on this. We have a collection. It's called the Kingar Metallic Quartet, and it is actually the holiday colors. And one of the things that I thought interesting about this is this is a very, very good thread that does not break. And I've been using it probably for about 4 or 5 years since it came out. It has a polyester core. It is wrapped with rice paper, and then the metallic is put over the top. So that means that you can use, you don't have to use a special needle. You can run it at high speeds, and guess what? Long armors are using this on their quilting machines as well.
Nice.
So it's just, it's a great thread, and it just doesn't break. I love it.
I do too. Yeah, I've been able to do several projects with it very successfully. Our little holiday quartet set comes with red, green, gold, and silver, right? You're all ready for the holidays. And I know that you also had some information about the placemat blanks, about washability and...
Yes, as I was traveling, the ladies would ask me, are the placemats washable? And I had a lady bring in her placemats that she had made a few years ago with this particular product, and they washed just fine. So that was the biggest question that I had traveling, and I was glad to know that people have used them and they've washed them and they're very serviceable.
Right. And splash fabric, you know, they'd be wipeable in between. Also, if you run out of the 4 that come in the pack and want to make some more, we have the refill packs as well. There's 4 more, so you can have another set. All right. Shall we move along?
We should.
Okay.
We've got lots to cover.
We do. So I wanted to talk about this book and bring your attention to the wall hangings that we have back behind here, or the items hanging. This is a little baby quilt, and this has flannel on the front, polka dots on the back, and we have our little blue and green play mat. And Anne, why don't you start with the baby quilt, because you made that one, and how you put it together. And
okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you on the machine how I put this together. This is a Quilt-As-You-Go item. The whole book is a Quilt-As-You-Go, and so when you're finished quilting, everything's done and finished off. So one of the things that I've always done is I like to make a template so that if I am layering up, I have this is the back layer, then I have a layer of batting and my fabric. And what I do is I put this template on here, and then I just drop everything in, pull it off, and then I just pin it and I stitch it. So this is the technique that we're going to do. We're going to bring the back sides together. This is the back of your quilt. You're going to just put some pins in, and then we're going to stitch a 1-inch seam allowance right here. So I'm going to go to my machine, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch the seam allowance.
so the best part in my mind is you've already done the quilting, right?
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about that part.
And then the magic happens. Okay, then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open this out, and I have pre-pressed this seam allowance. I bring it to the edge right here and I pre-press it, and then all I have to do is bend it over like this, take it to my machine. Let me get this organized a little here. and then I'm going to stitch my seam allowance all the way down.
And you're just really, really close to the edge, right?
Just very close to the edge. You've got that nice pressed edge to follow. And you do that on both sides. That's basically how you put the whole quilt together. So that's how it looks when it's finished. This will be turned over here and stitched, and then you have everything finished off on the front. Everything is finished off on the back, and you've already pre-quilted these, and so you're just very easy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the whole, you put it in rows and you stitch the rows together just like this.
Yes.
Super easy.
Now I noticed you put a binding around the edge, but you could also just fold those
Bring the
outside
back to
edges
the
in,
front.
and everything's framed out.
I
So
want to show them this.
sure. So the next connection that she talks about in the book, and these are all covered, is on the little blue and green quilt back here. We have some pieced fronts. So there's a couple different colors in the blue blocks and a couple different colors in the green. And then we have some little 9-patch blocks up here. And there are no seams showing on the front side. All of that work is going to be done on the back. And the connection for this one, rather than having one piece large and one piece small, I'm going to cut all of my blocks, front, back, and batting, the same size. I'm going to quilt them, and then I'm going to sew them fronts together, right sides together, with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And when I open that out and press it, then I can cover up that seam allowance with a strip of fabric that I've created out of my other fabric. I've got a little folder, and it folds the edges in for me, and then I can finish it out. Now, in this particular project, she has those strips live on the back, but sometimes she has them live on the front, depending on the project in the book. So just another way to connect stuff.
I think there's like 5 different ways you can finish off the back. So these are just a couple of the really easy ways
And
to do it.
connect those blocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you want to cover the next one?
Okay. Get up out of my comfortable chair. This right here is another project out of the bag. And it just uses a traditional quilt pattern. And what you're going to do is you're going to take some fat quarters and you're going to iron them together with your fusing agent, Steam-A-Seam 2, so that you create one fabric. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your circle ruler, if you have them, and I know that we have brought them in quite often, and so I used my circle ruler template to cut out the circles. And then once you cut out the circles, you're going to need to cut yourself a little template here, and you snug it up and you mark the 4 areas right here. These are your connecting areas. And so then all you have to do is match those up, stitch it, press it open, and you've got a unit, and you put the units together. And then a fun idea that they have done here is they put buttons on all over the bag, both on the front and the back. Now I'm going to do a demo on showing how to sew buttons on, because as I've been traveling around, a lot of the ladies, I always ask them, have you ever done this? I was surprised that a lot of people don't really use this wonderful feature, and so I'm going to go ahead and demo that in just a second. Some of your buttons will not fit in your button sewing foot. These are shell buttons and they're kind of curved, and so they just you can't use your button sewing foot, so I have an alternative for that.
Okay. Well, while you're getting set up, I just had a couple comments on this. Number one, I don't know if you realized, but there's no batting. right? There's no quilting. So this is a fun, quick,
Very fun.
yeah, glue type project, right? You've sewn them together. But I see that on your bag that you haven't even fastened down
Nope.
those edges yet. So you don't even have to do that.
I thought it gave it more of a dimensional look.
Sure, sure.
Okay, sometimes you will have a button sewing foot. This is one from my Pfaff machine, and it accommodates small buttons. But if you have larger buttons or ill-shaped buttons, you can also use the ankle on your machine if you want to sew buttons on. But what I like to do is I like to put on an open toe foot, or you could use a clear plastic foot. And I just need to go ahead and get my machine set up here for my
Sew on a button feature. And also, what I didn't mention with the other connections and the other blocks that we're making for these, it's a great way to use up the scraps of your batting, right? You've got all of those little strips left over from a quilt. You cut them in small pieces so they don't have to be a large chunk of fabric to start out with or batting. So it's a great way to use up scraps.
Okay. There is a setting on here that, Gail, I need you to come and help me.
We'll come find it. And I know that your corners are absolutely perfect, but if you were...
The straight stitch. Oh, it's a straight stitch needle plate, so I need the other.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
All right.
Why don't we go ahead and I'll set this up and you go ahead and...
Okay, I'll talk about this one. So this is also in the book. This is a little notebook cover. And this features another Quilt-As-You-Go or stitch and flip technique down the panel of the cover. So we have taken the lining fabric and put it face down. For the cover, I've used Soft and Stable, which is a foam style interfacing instead of batting. And then I've put my fabric strips on here. So I'm going to sew a couple of them together and flip them open. And as I work down the panel, this was just scraps, and they only were sewn, just past that panel area. Then I've taken the fabric that ends up here and put it face down on that panel, stitched it, and flipped it open. So that is all covered in her instructions in the book. I added the little purple strips up the side just to separate this part from this part. And then I've also done the back. Okay, so these have been quilted on the quilting machine, and they have a fun little honeycomb pattern in them. I don't know if we can get that under the camera, but they are stitched with that metallic thread, right? I used the silver from our holiday gift pack and stitched a little honeycomb quilting design over the top of all my little bees. Now, to put this particular project together, I used the front and the back, and I have placed those spines, or the area in the spine, I've placed those pieces together and just batted them up against each other so the batting doesn't overlap. And I have zigzagged, and then I covered that up with a small strip of fabric, just like this. I have one on the inside, one on the outside. And then I completed my cover with binding. This fits one of those composition notebooks. And then I wanted to bring your attention to this last little item, and that is I have 3 different loops on the area of my little cover here. 2 are on the front, 1 is on the back, so that when I put my pen in here, it locks the whole book together so it doesn't open. So, it's a fun little notebook.
We are ready.
We are. Yay!
We are ready. The most important thing you need is you need a foot that you can see where you're stitching. And with your button sewing programs, you have 3 different settings. So you can do a very small button, a baby button. You can do the normal size, or you can do a larger button with a wider distance. But for most of your buttons, you'll be doing just a regular stitch. The next thing is you need Scotch tape. This is really important. Very important. And then all you do is you just tape your button down. Just make sure that the holes on the button are straight across. And then I always just sink my needle, lower my presser foot, and then I just go ahead and stitch. And it ties it off at the beginning, it ties it off at the end, but don't use your automatic thread cutter on this. Raise your needle, lift up your presser foot, pull it out, and you have a button that is just perfect, and it stays on, and you can sew lots of buttons in a very short amount of time.
Right.
So,
that's an amazing feature. I did a jacket
is.
one time, or a shirt that had buttons,
Yeah.
like a necklace. And oh yeah, that saved a whole lot of time.
I had a lady that was making a button quilt in Everett, and she was sewing them all by hand, and the light just turned on, and it was just a wonderful experience.
Absolutely. We love those magic moments.
Yes, we do.
Okay, we have one more item from the book, and if you want to talk about
Sure.
these.
These are little scented trivets, and so when you sew them, try to use 100% cotton thread and fabric. They're scraps. You make them from scraps. You can make any width that you want here. And the beauty of this is you can use up a lot of your batting scraps and your fabric scraps. And on the back there is a little pocket here, and it has scented, let me just stay here, scented, you can use all different kinds of things, and I'm going to let Gail tell you some of the things that you can use to make these. I just have whole cloves in here, and then you just stick it down in here, flip it over, and you put your pot or your hot dish on here, and then the fabric just wafts out, or the fragrance just wafts out. So if you have gifts to make, cheap gifts and fast gifts, it's a great idea.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay.
I think we've comprehensively covered our book.
Yes, we have.
Anything to add on that one?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right, now while we're doing quilting and all of those items, right, you're sitting at the machine, you're using that foot control, and sometimes that, wants to dance away on you. So we do have, here's that foot control, right, and sometimes it can slide on your table. Actually, you don't. Probably have it on your table, on your floor, on your carpet, on your tile, on your wood floor. Even though they have those little rubber feet, sometimes they don't stick real well. What we have today is the Martelli's Get a Grip foot pedal pad, and this is a stable. It's built on wood. There is rubber on each side, and that is going to give you a place to put your foot control, and it doesn't move. I don't know if you can tell, I'm shaking the whole table, but my foot control is staying exactly where it started.
Yes.
So it doesn't travel, and it does not slip away on you. So that is a great addition to your sewing room, so you don't have to chase your foot control. All right, and then I think it's time for Mylar. Yay!
Fun.
Okay, are we ready for a couple of prizes?
All right. We have had some great audience participation today. It's been so awesome. They're really wowed by all of the cool tips that you have. Okay, so our first prize winner for today is going to be Bobby Dickerson from YouTube. Thank you for tuning in with us today. Once again, if you are local in the area and you're by one of our 11 stores, just let us know. Shoot me a message on my email, Andrea@qualitysewing.com. down. And let me know if you're close in the area. I'll shoot it to your store. Or if you're outside, like Colorado, we have someone from Colorado too.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah. Let us know your address and we will send it there. So anyways, the prize is from Patch Abilities, and it's like a year's different designs for tea towels. It's really cute, really fun, a whole year's supply. So
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think it's time to talk about Mylar,
Yeah.
right? So another sparkly product that we brought in today, right? We have an embroidery design collection from Shirley Gates, and this is Mylar Merry Christmas. This has 89 designs on it. It's a huge collection, and I know that from the pictures you sent, you know, the samples that you're making, you and I kind of dialed in on the same ones. It was kind of fun. But then sometimes I went in a different direction, and sometimes we did the same one. So lots and lots of Mylar stuff to show you. Now, first, I wanted to just share what Mylar really is, right? So we have metallic thread, so the sparkle lives in the thread. In this case, it is actually a sheet product. So it comes 3 in a package, and it looks like iridescent cellophane, okay? But this is not your ordinary cellophane. So Purely Gates brand only requires the one color, and all of your different results that you get from this all has to do with the thread colors that you add to it. So you only need the one style package, and we have those here. And what that's going to do is add lots of glitz and glitter to your project. So you want to show them how that works in a hoop?
When I was traveling around, a lot of the customers weren't really familiar with kind of the process, and so the thing that's really exciting about this is that you can use your rayon embroidery thread, polyester embroidery thread, and every stitch it takes, it turns it into a metallic looking finished project. And the thing of it is it's very serviceable. You can wash it, you can dry it, you can even press over it if you use a press cloth. And this is just one of our little cookie designs here. And what I've done is I have just stitched it out, and then it's just like using a piece of fabric to do fabric applique, only you're using Mylar, and you get to have that glitzy look. And since this is finished, all I have to do is just tear the back off of it, and we're good to go.
Are you ready to do that?
No, because I want to take it to Pasco.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You got another store to show. I
another
forgot.
store to show.
Yeah.
Darn.
So this is just kind of, you know, the threads have perforated it. So you're just going to tear it.
Tears off super easy.
Absolutely. And any little bits you can get with a little pair of tweezers. So
yeah.
Now there's instructions in there, exactly, you know, your thread choices, your thread color layers, and exactly when to slide in that Mylar. And we've done several of the Mylar projects this time on tea towels, right? So we also have tea towels available, and we have them with some decorative features on them. We have them with a little green bottom on them. We have them with a blue. And then we have a solid white with gold dots on it. So many fun tea towels. You can get those on our website with all of the other products today. So don't hide behind that. Come on out.
Yeah, I'll come.
So here's that same little present, right? And there's a series of designs that are 4x4. They're going to fit in the hoop, and 4x4 hoop, and they are called cookies. And they have a very definite edge over here so that you could cut them out and use them like cookies. Mm-hmm. There's little gingerbread men and little stars and other fun things. And of course that bow sparkles. Then we have season, 'tis a season to sparkle. We have We Wish You a Merry Christmas. We have Nuts About Christmas, Holly Jolly, Let It Snow. And of course, the Merry Christmas in the middle of the wreath. All right, and then over behind Anne, we have a shirt that has "'Tis the Most Wonderful Time of the Year." And it's all very, very glitz and glittery. We've got another apron over there. We can pull that out in a little bit and show you more later.
One of the things that I really like about these designs is that they're not all Mylar. So you're going to get some Mylar stitching, and she gives you little red or green dots to tell you when to put the Mylar down and when to take it off. And so it's a mix of regular embroidery plus the Mylar that gives it the sparkle and glitz.
Yeah, it's really nice. Now, Mylar designs themselves are actually digitized differently. So it's not just any design that you can throw Mylar in there and get a good result. They're a little dense, less densely digitized, so that gives you a place for that Mylar to show through and be glittery. Now, I put my Let It Snow on a sweatshirt. So that'll be fun this winter to wear that Let It Snow. So, did you have anything to add about the Mylar itself?
It's just very serviceable, and I think that that's one of the best things about it.
Okay. So, putting designs on a shirt brings us to our next product, and that is our totally tubular pressing station. Can you hand me that little flyer that's in the bin? So, this is a whole apparatus. Let's see which camera we're at. There we go. And this gives you the ability to hoop anything that's in the round, whether it's a tote bag, a t-shirt, anything that is tubular, and make it very easy to hoop. So I'm going to hoop a little kid's t-shirt right here on the station. Now, in the box, you get the two platforms, they're wooden platforms, and the pedestal to put it together. That makes it open here. And you also get the grippy little mats to go on there. Now, if you're doing a small item, I'm going to have the small side on the top. If I were doing a larger item, then I would flip it over and have the large part on the top. So I've taken a shirt. Now, this happens to be a little kid's t-shirt. And I've got a positioning sticker right here in the middle. Mine happens to be a snowman from a Brother Baby Lock, but Dime, which is the company that a lot of these products are from, also makes little positioning stickers, and you can place that right there. That way, when your t-shirt is flat, you can decide exactly where that design needs to go and not have to worry about reference marks later. I have turned the shirt inside out, and I've added a piece of stabilizer to the area that I think my hoop is going to be in, right? I want stabilizer all the way to the edge of my hoop. Now, to fasten this onto the shirt, I've used 505. This is an adhesive spray. And this is a temporary spray adhesive. You're either going to use a fusible stabilizer or something like 505 to fasten it down. It's very important that it is stuck to the shirt. Today we used poly mesh, which is a cutaway. Anytime you use a knit or stretch fabric, you have to use a very stable stabilizer that cuts and doesn't tear. Okay, so once I've got that on, I'm going to turn this right side out. Now today I'm going to use a magnetic hoop. Magnetic hoops are getting more and more popular, and they're very, very handy. I also have, so here's my little 5x7. This is from Dime as well, and it is called a snap hoop. And they come in multiple sizes for any of the different manufacturers. So you're good there. And I've added a little item here called a hoop guard. And let's see where we can get this in here. Okay, so this is a little piece of metal. And because it's a magnetic hoop, it sticks right to the hoop itself. And I'm going to put this on the same area that the bracket is, and you'll see why here in a minute. going to have the bracket hang off the end. I'm going to slip that t-shirt right over the edge. And I'm going to show that little positioning marker. Now, the hooping station does give you options to add another one of their products that you may have already or you may be interested in acquiring. This is the Perfect Alignment Laser, and it is a gooseneck lamp that will clamp to the edge, and it projects a red laser crosshair that shows you exactly where your little sticker needs to go in relation to your hoop. So, yes. If you don't use or don't have a magnetic hoop, then you can absolutely use regular hoops as well. So it's just going to be a little bit easier for me today to use a magnetic hoop. Okay, I've got that guard on there, and you can have one on either side if you want, but I'm just going to drop that down on my little hoop here and pull it off the end. Now, depending on your machine, if I have a Bernina has free arm embroidery, I can slide this right onto the arm of my embroidery machine, fasten this down, and I'm ready to stitch, right? If I have a long arm, then I would have a different bracket here, but I can slide that right into the long arm. I'm sorry, not long arm, but multi-needle. There we go. 10 needle, 6 needle. But today I'm using or pretending that I'm going to use a flatbed embroidery. So I'm going to start turning this whole thing inside out, right? I want to be able to see all of the fabric down here, all of my stabilizer, and I'm going to turn that shirt inside out again, right? I don't want to have any fabric showing down there. Put it into the machine, and then let's go to this over this camera right here. I'm going to peel all these things back, and you can see that positioning sticker. Now, that hoop guard is just helping me. It's like a wall, and it's just holding all of that stuff back. If I had 4 of them, I would have smooth sailing, right? Otherwise, I can use some clips. Tape is probably not strong enough, but I need to get that area free so I can stitch out. Now I'm going to stay with my machine for this one, right? I'm not going to wander away and make sure that everything is going to embroider out beautifully. So
it's great.
Yeah. Did you have any other ideas about this? Now, the very last thing I'm going to share on this part is when I did that big fat sweatshirt, my wall here, my bulk, was very, very thick. So I went up to the luminaire and I couldn't get it under the foot, so I took off the foot. I took out the needle, and then I had quite a bit of space that I could just shove that whole shirt in there, and then I just put the foot and the needle back in. So, don't forget to make sure you have a full bobbin before you do that. You don't want to have to do it twice, but
good idea.
There you go. You want to share what else you can do with this?
Yes.
Handy little day.
I did my sweatshirt right here, and I did the very same thing basically that Gail did, but I didn't have to remove my foot because this is a lighter weight sweatshirt. So either way, it works. I've had thicker things and removed the foot and stuff. It works great. But what I'm excited about this hooping station, not only for embroidery, it doubles as a pressing station. And I know a lot of you out there probably have ironing boards like I do that doesn't have the narrow front of the ironing board. So this is a perfect solution for that. And when I was doing my backpack, you can see over, well, you can't see it, it's off camera, but I was able to put everything over this. If you are a bag maker, this is just great for pressing and things like that. So guess what? We have, let me put these over here. We have the wool pads that go with this hooping station. And if you notice right here, it's cut out. That is so that you can use your your laser here. So all you have to do is put this on, and they really stay in place. They don't move. And so you can press all of your smaller items on this. And that is why I'm just excited, because you can use it for dual purposes, and pressing is a great idea.
Absolutely. Those wool mats could be even used on anything.
Yeah.
Right?
You can take them off and just use them on your ironing board or whatever you need to do.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, can we ask
Yes.
a question?
Sure.
Somebody had a question about this.
What does it mean that Bernina has it for your embroidery? About the $9.90 and wonder about it. So that means that you can take off the tray that would normally be like an extension table, and you can place your round item, whether it's a onesie or a t-shirt or a tote bag, down underneath that free arm, and you don't have to turn your item inside out. You can put the bracket on. They have a couple of different free arm hoops or a magnetic hoop, and you're able to embroider in the round without having to take your item apart and have it flat.
kind of like a 10 needle.
Yes,
The same
very similar.
concept as a
The
10
arm
needle.
on that Bernina is going to be much smaller, so you can slide an item over the top. So it's a great way. Yeah, enjoy your $9.90. I'm sure you will. So check that out. It's a wonderful way to utilize that feature.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're about to talk about our gnomes. So if you want to slide those over, I'll slide this out of the way. And we'll cover those. We have a fun little thing called the forest dwellers, right? And here, I'll help you unpin this. This is a table runner. So you get full width here.
Aren't they cute?
They're very cute.
I am not a great gnome lover, but I saw this and it's close enough to Santa's that I just think that it's adorable.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to make because everything comes pre-cut in the kit right here, the Forest Dweller kit. Everything is pre-cut, and so all you have to do is just stitch it up, and it really doesn't take all that much time. Now, Gail and I decided that we didn't want to have two of the same table runners, and so Gail, why don't you tell us what you did?
What's fun about that, right? You don't want to use different things.
Yeah.
So as she said, it's a full kit. You get the fabric for the back, you get all of the fabric for these pieces and the border and the binding, and they're all cut out for you. So I just took a few of them and made a little pillow. And this is just using a fraction, so you could probably make two pillows. Now this could be a wall hanging, or like I did here, I just took the pillow part out and you can hang it on the wall, right? Or stuff it with a pillow. So there's a lot of quilting in here, and I went back to that metallic thread, right? You can use it for embroidery, but you can also use it for quilting. So I've got some sparkle, actually used all 4 colors in this one. So I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to put together.
All right.
Okay.
The ruler?
I'm going to show you about making these little teeny, we need to show you where they are. Everything is cut out except for the little half square triangles right here. And so we have a, let me get all my stuff, I've covered it up over here. We brought in a ruler that will teach you 4 different ways to make your half square triangles. And this is the Creative Grids half square 4-in-1 triangle ruler. And so there are 4 different ways that you can do this, and I'm going to just show you a couple of ways to do it. Now, sometimes I tell my ladies, my customers that...
Why don't you slide that over there for a second?
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. You can see it better. Gail is more familiar with taping than I am, so I'm learning a lot. So yes, it has 4 different ways, there's a way to use this corner right here. You can see the markings here, you can see the lines here. So I'm just going to teach you a couple of ways. But before I do that, I want to, I'm probably preaching to the choir, but I want to tell you about making 8 half square triangles at a time. And I know, Andrea, didn't you just do one of the what's new on this particular technique?
How do I?
It was a while ago.
Okay, it was a while ago. Okay, if you can see, what you're going to do is you're going to mark your diagonal lines here, and then I've stitched on them just to save time. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my 5-inch mark, because this is a 10-inch square. I'm going to find my 5. This mat is almost too small.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to need to turn it this way. So, right there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this vertically. And then I'm going to cut it horizontally. Let me get these.
You want to just do one and then?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And then I'm going to cut right here. And then all you have to do, you're going to have 8 different sections here. And then all I have to do is put my ruler, cut on my drawn line, and I did draw it with a pen, but I don't want you to do that, but it's just easier for you to see. And so then we just go ahead and cut here, and you have your half square triangles. Now, if you want to cut them down to size, that's the way that the ruler works.
It's right there.
So I'm going to do this backwards. See if I can do it backwards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place this 3.5-inch line on my seam line, and then you can just go ahead and cut here, and you can see that it's not actually even cuts, but it will even out. What am I doing wrong here?
Well, you're upside down, so.
Yeah, well, I think I did pretty good for being upside down.
Yep.
But you know, sometimes I'm always upside down, so who knows. So then you have a perfect 3.5-inch half square triangle. Now, another way that you can do this is you can use up your scraps. Now, when I first started quilting, I had a lady that would quilt for me, and I would go in her studio, and she would have all these 2.5-inch squares hung up with clips on a wall. So she saved them all. So if you have to do
great for jelly rolls.
Yeah, for your jelly rolls, or if you get a kit with just some strips in it or whatever, you can use this ruler. And what I've done is I've trued up this edge right here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the black triangle right here at the edge and place the ruler at the edge here. And then all I have to do is just cut this way, and then you flip it and cut this way, and you have all of your half square triangles. You have right side to right side, and you just stitch it and they come out perfectly. So that's just a couple of ways. There's a couple more ways to use this. Now, one of the things that I love about Creative Grids is they give you a QR code here on the ruler. So all you have to do is just focus that your camera on here, and it takes you right to the video for how to do this.
That's wonderful, right? It comes with great directions, but if you happen to misplace them.
Some of us are visual learners, and some of us like to read the instructions.
So does it have videos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Video.
Yeah. Hey,
perfect.
I'm all about the videos.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like we are moving on
To
to the
our
backpack.
backpacks.
Yeah. Now, just a quick little note. If I'm going to try to figure out how to quilt something like my little gnomes, I'm going to take a snapshot, and this works for quilts and smaller projects. I'm going to print it out on a piece of 8.5 by 11, stick it in a sheet protector, and then I can get a Sharpie and start drawing all over the front of that to see if I like the quilting ideas. And if I don't, I can take it out, find another sheet protector, and start over again, so I don't have to erase it. So, great way to just practice your quilt patterns.
Great idea. Thanks for sharing.
All right.
You can tell Gail's very artistic. And that's why I love working with her, because I am more of a technician than artistic.
And like I said this time, Anne followed the pattern, so I didn't have to. So. All right, now we've got our range backpack. This is from Noodlehead, and I had fun with this one.
I had so much fun.
Yeah. So you want to share yours?
Sure. I'll just put this, well, maybe this is probably better.
Yeah.
This backpack is really large. And for that reason, I love the pattern. Noodlehead patterns are really quite easy to follow. And if you look at how much space you have in that backpack. There's also a drop-in pocket, and it's just lined with cotton. Now you can make this out of cotton. This is actually a home dec weight cotton. There's a little bit of interfacing in it with the SF101. It has a zip pocket here at the front, and if you notice, it has a pleat in it so you can stuff it. The lining also has a pleat. You can use different kinds of closures. I did follow the instructions. One thing I would tell you about, they said to cut 1 inch for your this strip, but it doesn't work. It's too thick. If you're using 2 layers of vinyl, just cut it about 3/4 of an inch. That's the only change that I would make. You're hanging your straps here. You have a fun little carrier right here on the side of the bag, and you've got your backpack straps, and then you've got your holder here, and you do want, if you do it out of quilting fabric, you need to put some type of batting right here. It will end right here because you don't want it to go over to where it
Folds in half.
folds it over for the front. So you just quilt it.
Yeah. So I have done mine out of a waterproof canvas. The only change I made was that little clip. I found a little hook rather than the double D-ring cinch strap because it was just easier for me to get into it. Now I've lost the ability to cinch that down, so it's not adjustable, but it is quick and easy to open up. Like she said, large cavern on the inside with a slide pocket in the back. It's very large pocket, and then the straps. So we do have a little bit of hardware to go with this. If you want to sneak that out, it's under there somewhere. Yep. So we have the 2 D-rings, and we have those in the nickel, which is a silver color, or the antique gold. So I use the silver and use the antique gold. The D-rings are right here. There's 2 D-rings in a package. There are the sliders, which are rectangular shape with a bar in the middle. That's going to make your strap adjustable. And then there is a single rectangular connector that is going to allow that strap to fasten to the piece that you have in the bag to hold it all together. But very fun.
Also, if you're a visual learner, there are videos on YouTube that walk you through the whole process.
So now I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you later.
Are you going on a trip? We should take a trip.
There you go. Yeah. Your world view fabric is ready, right?
Okay.
Okay, and then the jacket, right? That's our next pattern, if you want to
Yep.
grab it out of there. Anne is wearing hers, I'm wearing mine. This is from Liesl and Company, and this is the Brunswick jacket. This is a multi-sized pattern. It goes from 0 to 20, and it is written for cup size, which means you can make it with a smaller cup size all the way up to a D cup size with the darts that are in the side, and both of us have been wearing these for the entire filming. And it has a raglan sleeve. It has pockets. Now I did the shorter version and did the longer version, just a little bit longer. She did a knit, I did a woven, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have little flamingos embroidered all over my fabric. Flamingos and palm trees.
I think that I was telling the ladies as I traveled, you need to take your backpack and your jacket and go to Florida.
Yes, I guess I do, right? So it's Christmas everywhere, right? So I even have Christmas in Florida, so.
Well, I wanted to talk about some of the really unique techniques on this jacket. There are two. I've been making jackets for many years. I don't even want to tell you how long. But I've never seen this on a jacket. The first thing is the raglan sleeve is actually a three-part sleeve. It has a front, a back, and a lower portion. That means that you have a lot more room here to move. And one of the things about the pattern is it is really generous in its sizing, so you can layer underneath it. And this was done mostly all on the serger. The second thing, I'm going to take it off and I want to show you, it has a folded pocket, and I've never seen this before. This pocket right here is just folded. So let's turn it over and look at how it is constructed. This right here is part of the jacket front. You fold it up. This is one piece that you add, and you add it and you sew the seam, and then it folds over and it makes just a magic pocket.
I was very impressed with the way, and I had not run across that either, and I've sewn quite a few garments. The raglan sleeve or the pocket.
The thing that I like about these younger designers is they have so many innovative ideas, and she's one of my favorite. I really like her because fitting is very easy with her patterns.
Right.
And
so,
you
no
know,
lining, no buttons, no buttonholes, no zippers, none of that. It's just a real easy pullover.
And you can stitch it. This was done almost totally on the serger. Once you get it cut out, you can 2 hours and you've got a jacket.
Absolutely.
So it's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to pull out the next pattern, and I'm going to just wander this way and move a couple things. So earlier, if you've been keeping track, we did allude to an extra apron that had Mylar on it. It's hanging over here with our other aprons, and we're still not quite there. Oh, there we are. So this is just one more of those 89 designs on the Mylar thing that says baking spirits bright, right?
I don't think we mentioned, they come in, you mentioned the 4x4 cookies, but they also have either 5x7 or 8x8 designs.
Right.
So,
and the quilting designs.
Yes. Oh, and the quilting designs, yes.
Yeah.
There are 4 different edge-to-edge quilting designs.
Yep. We have borders and corners and other shapes too.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, here is the Vanilla House Santa 4-corner apron. Now, on the cover, we have it, of course, in red and white. It's supposed to look very Christmas and very Santa, but it does not have to live in Christmas alone, right? So you can make it in other colors. I set out to do elf and went a little green, but as soon as I put on this lovely gold buckle, I thought it turned into a leprechaun. So, you know, we could do St. Patrick's Day as well. So there's pockets and fun treatments with buttons down the front. Now all of her, well, at least this pattern is reversible, right? I think you said something about...
Well, I said, you know, if you turn it on the reversible side to cook and then you flip it around when your guests come.
There you go.
And you have a clean apron.
The belt turns into the ties to attach, and it does have a neck strap. So just a very
I
cute
just
apron.
bought some Harry Potter fabric because I took my kids to Europe and they loved Harry Potter. So I'm making a Harry Potter for my daughter out of this pattern. So I think it's very versatile.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
A fun pattern. All right, and then let's talk about our little neck things here.
Yes.
So yours is...
Right. We could lay yours on.
Yep. Got it hiding back here. And then, of course, let's start with patterns. So this is called Warm Hug. Now, in our part of the world, this time of the year, right, we're getting ready for those winter weather scenes. So I don't know about you guys, but I like to be warm. And a heated hot pack is, a microwavable hot pack is something that's going to help me do that. It can ease your sore muscles, but it can also, you know, warm you up. So I was very impressed with this pattern. I've had rectangular rice towels before that you throw in the microwave, but when I put them over my shoulders and try to do anything, they always fall off. So this one happens to be shaped. So as you can see right here, it is shaped like a little cape almost that goes over your shoulders. So I can model mine if you would like. So,
And I like the way, Gail, you just used 2 pieces of fabric.
yeah, so it does have a shape, right? It has shoulders, it has a collar, and you can make it. Here's another, and followed the pattern, and I kind of went off on my own. I'm known for being rogue. But if you wanted to alleviate the need to strip all of the different colors together, you can use one solid piece of fabric on the front and one on the back. Now I used an ombre to give me a little bit of color, but it does fit over my shoulders very well. Now you could also add a little tie to tie it together. No metal buttons, right? Because this is going to go in the microwave. You have to be careful about what you make it with. But then you're going to stuff it. So what did you stuff yours with?
Well, one of the things I think we need to tell them about is it has a flannel lining. Everything needs to be 100% cotton,
Yes.
even your thread,
Yeah.
to be on the safe side.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So there's the outer fabric, there's flannel, then there's the filling, and then there's another flannel, and then the other fabric. So,
Yeah.
okay.
And I want to shout out to the Tilda fabric that we carry in the store. Actually, I used fat quarters for this. You can use fat quarters for it. And so it worked out perfect.
Those are beautiful fabrics. If you haven't seen them, the Tildas, they're very nice.
They're beautiful.
Okay, so we have different options for filling. You can do research, and there's a bunch of different natural things out there. The pattern does call for a product called heat beads, and heat beads, and I believe mixed them with
I
rice.
mixed, most of it is the heat beads, and I kind of ran out. Takes about 6 to 7 cups of filler, and I thought I was going to run out, and so I added a little bit of rice.
Yeah, so the heat beads, you can't see them in here, but they are a little...
They're kind of golden color, but they just kind of fade in.
Now the little plastic poly pellets that we've sold in the past are not microwavable. So
No.
do make sure that whatever you're going to use is able to go in the microwave. So I went and found a post that lists several different options like flaxseed and walnut shells and different things, but they also mentioned corn. So I chose to put corn in mine. Now this is not popcorn, right? You don't want to have an exciting event there. But we do have feed corn, or I used feed corn. And I've bought this in a large bag listed as deer corn. So it's something that is a whole grain. It holds the heat very well, and then it distributes it evenly, so it lasts a long time.
2 to 3 minutes for your microwave, and
Yeah.
it'll be hot.
Yeah.
It'll be warm.
I would do 30 seconds at a time
Yes.
until you
Shake it.
figure out what temperature you're going to want. I did a quick little test. I did mine for 1.5 minutes. I put it on, sat down, and fell asleep. So you can also put them in the freezer. So you can use them as cold packs as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Last little thing, if you don't have a good funnel, like I said, I was using corn. I had a little teeny tiny funnel or a big fat canning funnel, a paper plate. You wrap it in a little, like a tube, and it works great to fill these up. So happy, happy sewing, and yes, I love the warmth. Andrea, looks like you have
Yes, I have
something
our
else.
last prize, but gosh, I feel like I'm ready for Christmas now. I've got all
right?
kinds of ideas of things to make for my friends and family. I'm really excited. Hey, and I think one tip you told me about those microwave heat pads is to put like a wet washcloth or a cup of water in there with
Yes.
it.
Yes.
So you don't
yes.
burn your fabric. Not that I'm speaking from experience. Well, thank you for joining us today, everyone. I've had a great time. You all have done a great job with the show today. We have our last winner. This is Anne-Marie Holtz-Hilario from Facebook.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning in today.
Great.
She had a lot of great comments that I'll share with you guys later on. But go on to my email, andrea@qualitysewing.com. Shoot me a message. Let me know if you're in the area. I'll send it to your local store or your address. So with that, it's going to be kind of along the same line. It's from Patch Abilities. It's the seasonal table runners.
Have fun,
So,
ladies, with those.
Yes.
Yeah, they
very,
are
very fun.
very fun.
So don't forget the code. If you want any of the products that they talked about today, go online. The code is SF Trigger.
Treat.
It's just SF Treat.
No tricks here.
No tricks, all treats. Have a happy fall, and we will see you next month at November's So Fun.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.